One guy that started to see his stock rise quite a bit in terms of the safety class, and there's a very good chance he ends up being the third safety drafted, is Jessie Bates from Wake Forest. Like, initially I thought it was going to be Justin Reed, or was it going to be this guy or that guy, but it feels like right now that Jessie Bates has the best chance of a safety not named Derwin James or Minkah Fitzpatrick to end up being a first rounder, sneaking into the tail end of round one. I feel like that's a bit of an ambitious grade, but I understand what people see in him. I absolutely do. You heard Mike Mayock talking about it at the Combine, that he likes those safeties that used to play baseball. They were outfielders, center fielders, and you definitely see that in Jessie Bates' game. You absolutely do. He's got pretty good football instincts. He can react quickly to what's happening. He doesn't get fooled really badly that often on play action. Shows a little bit of a feel for being able to read and recognize and diagnose ahead of time, anticipate pay to play, where it's going, how it's going to develop, where it's going to develop. So you like that kind of innate feel for the game that he has. He's got really good ball skills. In 2016, he had 5 interceptions, showed the ability to turn his head and locate the ball, which again, you would expect if you're a guy that played baseball and played center field, you would expect this guy is able to naturally run and turn his head and locate the ball, because that's in large part what an outfielder does on a day-to-day basis. He's pretty good in man coverage. He's got pretty good hip flexibility, hip fluidity, lateral agility. He can quickly change direction without losing a lot of his speed. I always looked at him and thought he was good at reading breaks, not allowing too much of a gap between him and the receiver in man coverage, which, like I said, was a bit of an issue I saw with Minkah Fitzpatrick. I feel like he's pretty good as a zone cover guy with some more upside to get better, especially with the generally good instincts I saw out of him and his understanding of how to be a center fielder or an outfielder, because it's kind of natural to him. So I see some of these things. He's got some punt return ability. You know, there's a lot that flashes there that you could see why people are intrigued by him. But maybe I'm just not as high on him as others. Maybe I should be. I don't know. But he's 6'1", 200 pounds. While he's got good height and okay weight and, overall size for the safety position, he looks really skinny. He looks really slender, especially in the arms and in the upper body. He lacks the muscle you would desire out of a safety, especially if you're going to bring him up in run support, which may limit just how much you could utilize him in run stuffing type of situations. He worked out okay at the Combine in terms of his 40 time and such, but I thought his quickness was adequate, not great. His top speed was okay. I do feel like his speed plays a little bit better than what he tested at times, but it does take him a little while to get up to speed. So he's a good athlete, not a great athlete, and I do feel like the Combine showed that, and his film at Wake Forest in 2017 also shows that. Like I said, I'm concerned about him as a run defender. He plays with some fire and wants to mix it up, but he's not a very strong guy. He's a slender build guy, especially in his arms and his upper body. I worry about him being pushed around and not being able to get off of blocks, which is something you saw out of him at Wake Forest. Also, coming into the tackling part of it, that lack of strength, he shows the ability to come in and level a little bit of a hit. You would really like him to be a better fundamental, solid technique, open field tackler. He misses a lot of tackles, and I mean a lot of tackles, due to poor technique, not wrapping up, lack of strength. Sometimes he gets too ambitious. He takes too aggressive at an angle, and he'll miss tackles by getting out of position. So you worry about that as a last line of defense guy. You want a guy that can tackle, that doesn't allow a big play to become a touchdown. You want a guy that could come up and stop the running play before it breaks open for 30, 40 yards. And I'm worried about whether or not he has the ability to do that. So I get it. Like, you've got Mayock talking about how much he likes him at the Combine. You've got other people talking about how much they like him at the Combine and in other places. And then, like I said, there are flashes and there are moments in time where you look at Jessie Bates and you're like, oh, I could see it. I can see it. He bulks up a little bit. He's got good natural feel for the position. He's good in man coverage. He plays all right in zone, and he can get better there. And he's got ball skills. And he's got that natural innate feeling to be able to play center field, to be able to go close to sideline and cover a wide range. It's just there are a lot of concerns with me about Jessie Bates to where I can't think of him as a first-round type of talent. To me, I looked at him on film, and he was more of a second to third-round type of guy. That's what he felt like, and that's, to me, what he is. I don't think there's any chance that he gets drafted that low. I anticipate him getting drafted higher, mind you, but I'm just not quite as big on him as everybody else. I'm just not quite as sold on him and everybody else. Good prospect, but to me, not a first-round caliber talent. I just don't see it.